All right, let's head back out to Tucson, where our next guest knows all about high-profile missing persons cases. Retired detective John Buehler, who investigated Laci Peterson's case out in California, and he joins us live outside of the Pima County Sheriff's Office. He actually flew there to Arizona. So, John, we want to talk to you about the sheriff ruling out the family. What does it take to do that? How can the sheriff say certainly when he was saying before we're not ruling anyone out?
Well, there's a process that goes along with that. Generally, what you're going to do is you're going to take a look at where family members were when the abduction took place and verify their alibi that they weren't involved in it. You're going to take a look at their friends and associates and make sure that none of them have a criminal record or past history of violence or anything like that, maybe gambling debts or things like that that would put them in a position to target Nancy. So a lot of legwork on the part of the detectives. It keeps them busy for quite a while. But if the sheriff said that he's confident that they're not part of it, then we have to go with that.
So you didn't mention DNA evidence, and I was kind of thinking that if you were able to rule out family members, then maybe that might mean that they have good enough DNA evidence that they actually have something, which, of course, would be enormously helpful in identifying eventually who the actual perpetrator is.
Yeah, that plays a big part in it. The difficult part of doing family DNA on what they have from the physical evidence is they haven't even determined the end results on the information from the lab down in Florida. And until that's completed and then they resubmit it to the FBI with the intermediary checking for the quality of the evidence, they won't really know anything at all. It doesn't seem likely that it would be a direct family member that would have done something like this, so I'm reasonably certain that just accounting for their alibi and that they weren't anywhere near when this took place is enough for the time being. But the stranger intrusion is probably what they're looking for more on this evidence than any family member.
So, Detective, can you give us a better timeline on the DNA? And I want to take two different, so you got the private lab, all right, get the results from there. Then you got CODIS with the Bureau in Quantico. It looks like they've been able to get the speed of that quite fast these days. But then you got the genealogy, and it seems like that takes some time. What can you tell us about timeline on all those DNAs?
Well, the one good thing about a case like this that has such intense media coverage is the DNA processing is going to be sped up. They're going to put a case like Nancy's at the front of the line because generally, especially in California, back when we were working these cases, if you submitted DNA evidence, you were on about a 4 or 6 month wait until you got the results. The problem was the lab had to work on cases that were coming up for trial first, and then they would work on the unsolveds. But in this case, because of the high-profile nature, they're going to be able to put it at the front of the line. Now, the lab down in Florida, I would assume that it's got to be accredited. I can't imagine that the sheriff would send evidence to a lab that isn't accredited, hasn't been tested before in court, and that the results would not be accepted. So the timeline between doing this, and it's not like plugging in a wall socket or anything like that. It takes those criminalists in the lab time to find the results and quantify them, get them written down, and then have them ready to go to the next step, whoever's going to look at it, whether it's Quantico or an intermediary that's going to determine the quality is still there for further examination.
Yeah, John, it sounds like it's raining there. We're looking it up on our phones, 54 degrees, and it's raining there. Thought those were fireworks at first, but that's what probably you're under a tent. When we talk about Laci Peterson's case, she disappeared December 24th, right before Christmas, in 2002. But Scott wasn't arrested, her husband at the time, until the next April. So it took time, and that's when the baby's body washed up. A week later, her body washed up, I believe, and then there was DNA evidence that confirmed it was Laci and her baby. But did that add, I guess that adds the urgency to the case, right? Because then you immediately were able to arrest Scott.
Yeah, there were two different exigencies in that case. The first one at the beginning was because nobody knew where Laci was. So, of course, there was an enormous amount of search effort going on in a variety of different locations. And there was investigation behind the scenes. We were checking alibis and things like that. And that was the one thing with Scott that came about, is his demeanor was different from all the other family members, whether it was Laci's mom, Sharon, her friend, Ron Gransky, Laci's friend, friends, Stacy, Kim, Renee, Lori, her sister Amy, her brother Brent, everybody was just going crazy except for Scott. So there was urgency there, but he set himself apart because of his behavior. When the bodies showed up, we were at the point where we had completed just about everything else in that investigation, and we were waiting for something to break, and it just so happened it took place at that time. We were not able to identify the remains because you just couldn't identify them visually. So they had to submit the evidence. Now, most of the time in a case like this, we would have been waiting, but because of the media attention in the Peterson case, those results came back right away from Bill Lockyer's office at California Department of Justice. That was helpful for us, but the urgency then was we had to wait on the results. We knew they would be coming within hours. We had to find Scott. He was under surveillance, and then we had to apprehend him with the assistance of California Department of Justice. So it worked out good. In this case, it's a little bit different. We still don't know where Nancy is, and so the urgency still remains just like it did in the early stages of Peterson.
It's actually such a good point, Scott, in comparison-wise, because we also saw that in the Brian Kohlberger case. They sent the DNA over to the lab, and they were monitoring him for over 2 weeks. That could be happening right now. They could have suspects as they have under surveillance while they're doing the other heavy lifting with the law enforcement work. Excellent insight. Thanks so much for joining the program.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, Lawrence. Thanks, guys. Thanks, appreciate it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.